Oh,
What's up? What's up, bro?
how you feeling, man?
I'm great, bro. Let me lower this real
That's
quick. It's good to see you.
it's good to see you too, man. How you feeling? How's everybody feeling?
I'm great, bro. Everyone's healthy. That's all that matters right now during this time, seriously. But hey,
Oh,
what's up, Nahal? So, guys, just to get started, as people pull in, because I know they're being notified that you're now in here. Um, a quick introduction as to what we're gonna do and how we're gonna lay this out. So this is gonna be more of a Q&A. So any questions you have in terms of the release of Daniel's EP, things going on during this time, any questions for him as like an artist in general, that'd be great. But as you guys know, Daniel is an artist, a TV producer and director, 420 Live in the future. And it's been great to grow with him and grow alongside him. I'm the creator and founder of Dream Big & Co., along with my partner in crime, Nahal. So we've been doing these IG Lives for a little bit. And now we have one of my faves, Daniel. So, dude, I just want to ask, uh, during this time, how have you been, and what have you been observing overall with the world, with people, how people have been changing, how you've been changing?
man. Well, it's been good. Nice big question for you right there in the beginning. No, oh man, it's been it's crazy because it's been both, obviously a hectic time and also a good time for some people. Depends on how you look at the scenario. I'm sure at this
Mm.
point, people are starting to realize your perspective is everything in a crisis like this. Um, yeah, some
Mm-hmm.
of the big realizations I've seen is that I think what I'm seeing is people are realizing right now that the dehumanization, the borders that we've put up against each other, the judgment and blame culture, that's got to stop. That's like one of the biggest things that I'm seeing right now. Matter of fact, I just watched the video you had sent earlier of the whole "why hindsight is 2020," the big realization.
Yeah, the great realization. Yeah,
The great realization that was so good, especially because the
so
rhyming.
well
But
put together. You
it
guys,
was so
you
well
have
put
to
together.
watch that. You have to watch that.
For real, I just posted it on my story too. But it was so good, man. It was talking about, basically, if you haven't seen it yet, it's talking about how we're in this time right now, but the guy's looking at it from the past and hindsight, he's looking at 2020 in hindsight, and he's talking about how the world as we knew it was focused on greed and getting what we want. And we got so full that we ended up putting up these borders and isolating ourselves and all of these things. And at the same time, we were killing ourselves. And we needed to get a little sick before we got a little bit better, which is why we're in this season right now of forced growth. It's absolutely crazy because you can look at it as, oh, this is a crazy punishment, or you could look at it as this is a crazy blessing. But either way, you govern your own actions at this point. You have to govern. You can blame the government for the neglect, but like, what are you neglecting? You can blame them for governing all of us, but you govern yourself at the end of the day. So I think people are realizing that all right now as we're moving into the final stages of this virus and the country's opening back up again. It's like, all right, so what are we going to do different now? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't have put it better. And I think everything you said is more, it's a meta thing, but it also applies to everyone on a self level. I think like
Yeah.
the major changes that'll happen worldwide will be because every single individual is being forced to change and forced to grow, as you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, and along with that, you also released the EP during this time. If
Ye-
people haven't listened to it already, please stream it. It's everywhere, I believe, right?
yeah.
Spotify, Apple,
Everything.
all the big ones. So why did you want to do it now? And give a little glimpse into what Vessel's about too.
Okay, so it's actually really crazy because I wouldn't have done it now if it was if I wasn't in the season of growth anyway. So we finished
Mhm.
the EP back in January, and I was in a rush to get it out actually. So I was in a rush to finish it and get it out. I had no idea that the pandemic was coming and that it was gonna look like this. I mean, no one really knew that it was gonna look like this, shutting down everything. So I was heavily blessed to have the project already done. by that time. And although it did slow up some of my present goals that were right in front of me at the time, it gave me a chance to kind of step back and look at how a new way of doing things, a new way to connect. And so, and also it gave me time to really connect to the message of the project, which I had already connected to in making it, since I made the project specifically for myself. It's called Vessel, and it's about being a vessel. It's like, oh, I'm just a vessel, but the funny part is, so are you. Like, you're just a vessel, I'm just a vessel, we're all just vessels. And so it's called that because we're being used for great things, or we're being used for savage things. And it really does depend on you and your choices at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And so I had the time to actually connect to that message and coming back home during the virus, because when I was in LA, kind of got lost out there, started falling down into a cycle of vices. And then coming back home, I was able to reconnect with, hold up, I'm a vessel, and it's time to step into this greatness. It's time to know who you are and to let people know who you are at the same time.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it was at the time. I wasn't actually going to post it because of the virus. It didn't seem relevant. It seemed like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
was dying, and I was like, nah, I just don't think EP is a great idea. And then I kind of was like, it's not about me though. Like, that was the
Mhm.
whole key. I'm just a vessel. Like, it's not about me. How about everyone else who poured their time and energy into me? How about everybody else who invested their skills into me to make this project with me? And I'm like, dude, yeah, it's not just about you. So at the end of the day, I ended up putting it out, and the response has been amazing. It's been great, and it's just continuing to escalate. So I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, I will say the IG live you had was probably one of the more fun IG lives. You had the whole setup going, you had the music playing, fielding questions. No, it was
That's
a lot
fun.
of fun. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember, Annie, you said the same exact thing. It's like it's outside of just you. Like, you had
Yeah.
the hesitancy because you thought it was selfish, but it was actually like it was for everyone else,
Yeah.
which is like the main lesson during this time. It's like we need to be there for each other, and even
Right.
though we do need to improve ourselves as well.
Yeah, man. These are the keys right there, man.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you as well. This is a major time of reflection. It's like reflection, reinforcement, and rejuvenation. How have you been reflecting? What practices have you been doing? Like, what's been working best for you during this time?
Well, personally, it was a journey of looking back at my roots. So the best thing that I could possibly be doing right now is trusting that I'm in control of myself. God is in control of everything else. That we're both co-writers to my destiny, and I don't have to worry, because every day what's needed will be provided, and the things that I desire will be given to me if after the things I needed are given to me. So I've just been in a very peaceful inner state of understanding, like, that this will unfold the way that it needs to unfold, and I can't control everything except how I respond. So what's been
Mm.
working best for me is a lot of reading, a lot of praying and meditating, a lot of creativity, man. Just like learning new things. Cooking has been awesome, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Uh, just like just just anything, like playing guitar and like structuring stuff on Ableton, learning new things, as in like languages and new facts, and just diving. Like, there's so much time to do everything that you want to do, but definitely the best thing I could possibly be doing is reconnecting with God. I mean, it's a time where we're learning that spirit and mind aren't separate, and very
Mm.
soon I feel like everyone's gonna start seeing, oh, like, this whole spirit thing is a huge factor here, and what we're doing and what's being suppressed inside of us right now. And so that is key to what's been going on right
Mm.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I resonate with all that. I remember the first time, like in the realm of Dream Big and Co., when you were on the podcast, one of the things that amazed me most, you said you meditated like 3 times per day. I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And
Dude,
it's
yeah.
just like that's such a staple now. But like I said, I resonate with all that, and I've been diving into a little bit of music too. So I'm learning to appreciate music in and of itself, and I see how much effort goes into making like EPs and singles. It's not
Yeah,
easy. There's so many players that go into making this thing successful.
for real though. No, for real. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many, dude. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I remember because we did that podcast, and I was meditating 3 times a day back then. which was absolutely necessary. I was doing like all different types of meditations and stuff, but I've kind of zeroed in on one recently. But
Mm.
just like now, now it's about meditating like almost consistently throughout the day. It's not the same meditations where you just like where I was like I pick specific times and it's like okay, now's the time to meditate for 30 minutes to an hour. Now it's more about like continuously recognizing my breath, continuously going inward
Mm.
and introspecting throughout the entire day. There's like not a moment, there's no right time to do it. You just need to keep doing it and keep doing it throughout the day. And it becomes natural. And it doesn't take longer than 10 to 15 minutes as you start to reflect. So that's where it is now. I can't really count how many times now, but it's also not like a thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to constantly be in awareness to like catch those thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's
100%,
capturing
bro.
thoughts all day, all day. That's what
Yeah,
you start to recognize in this process. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man.
And just a refresher for we're 15 minutes in, and for anyone who's recently joined or will join and will see this, if you want to ask any questions pertaining to Daniel or the EP or anything else, we're going to continue to dive deep. But I was gonna ask, but before we do, you can answer this. Thank you, Gabriella.
What's your process like when writing to producing music? Huh? What's my
Mm.
process like when writing to producing music? Well, there's like it depends on the thing. So if I'm getting like if I'm receiving music from someone, like produced music or production from
Mm.
someone else, I try to write inside of the music. I try to write, just try to fit the vibe, and whatever lyrics come to me naturally, come to me naturally. But normally, a bunch of colors start popping up from whatever that artist has already sent me, and I feel like that way I can complement his production, and then we can work around that. If there's different things I want to add or strip away, we can work around. But naturally, it'll be like, oh, we come together right there and then instead of dominating. If I'm making it myself from scratch, that's a whole different process, and it takes some really talented people around me like Kid K and Misha and Noah, where I'll come with the
Mm.
melody that I have in my head, and they'll have to play it out because I'm not the best at playing all these things out myself. Sometimes I'll play it out myself, and then we'll build from there. And as we continue to build, more the colors will become more and more clear, and it'll get closer and closer to the vision. But that process is much more tedious to me. I'm much more critical of myself in that because it's like all coming from my head. So I'm like, all right, every detail has to be exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So and you're more, so are you more of like a visual person? Because I know as well, one of your main intentions with coming out with all of your creative work is to have people feel it through like touch or like
Mm-hmm.
see this or like feel the sounds deeply to where they can like see things as like a different color. I mean, it's really cool. And that I think that goes such a long way because even if it doesn't reach that point for certain people, you're still aiming for that and it's going to be felt because the intention is
Right.
so strong, you know?
That's the thing, yeah. Like not every so synesthesia, for those who don't know, is something that when you like hear colors or taste colors, is something that I have. A lot of artists do, apparently. And what I try to do is I try to replicate that experience as much as I can inside my music for people to be able to do it themselves. The thing about it is I didn't know I was doing that when I first started doing it. I was just trying to make the colors as vivid as possible. Like they were in my head already, so I was like, yo, I got to try to make the colors as vivid as possible. I got to try to paint the blues that I see and hear and taste. And then what it turned out for this EP, it was like, yo, if I could get everyone else to feel them too, just a little bit
Mm.
like an intro. I heard that harpsichord go like dun 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 dun, and I was like, yo,
Yeah.
if I can just like like shouted blue to me. So if I was like, if I can just like make them feel like they're in an ocean of like sound too somehow, that'd be great. So I was just like, from there, I was like, Kwaku, let's just like put as many harmonies and vocals around, spreading around my voice, and so they can like feel it and hear it,
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
quantify it, and try to keep it light and airy and everything. But yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that vivid detail because I can see that now. Yeah.
yeah, man.
And I was gonna, I mean, I would love to play it in the background as we talk as well, which I probably will do. But I was gonna ask you as well. you said during this time you go back to your roots, right? Like, what are a couple individuals you've been looking to, or that have been their messages have been ringing true to you during this time? Like some people you're learning from. I know between us both, like Dr. Caroline Leaf is one that's just big because mindset is huge right
Yeah.
now, and learning about self is important. Is there any other people?
Yeah, Dr. Caroline, like women have been the like most inspirational part of this whole thing, which also is hilarious because that's like how when it comes to music too, I'm mostly inspired by female melodies. It's because I
Mm,
can't sing like the range is so wide. And I guess that's the same thing with who I'm being inspired by outside of music too. Like Brene Brown is another huge just influential person who's been teaching about vulnerability and how that's true strength. And she is
yeah,
amazing. You mentioned Dr. Caroline Leaf, who has been critical in the steps of reconstructing the non-conscious mind and understanding like down how choice affects down to your DNA and the different things, how your brain is like neuroplastic and how it grows and expands is constantly changing.
mm,
These are just like a few things that have been going on. My regular people, one like some of the male influences, I guess I can go off the top of my head. Like there's a guy named Prince Donnell who really talks about getting your money in order and financially getting yourself in
mm.
order. How to use social media to your benefit too, and how to be healthy with it. Gary V, who is also same route of everything. He's been
Yeah.
increasing for success and fame as well. But yeah, I guess when people have asked me that question recently, it's really been the people around me that first come to my head, like the people who
Bro, I love that.
I
Yeah.
reached out to first. So mom, dad, yourself, my friends, everybody around, like my family. I call them my friends, but they're my family at this point. But yeah, like
Yeah. That's the first time I've heard someone give that answer, and I like that the most. It's true. Yeah, it's true. To be honest, bro, the two things that I just thought of when you were talking is one, when we talked earlier today, the quote of like impressing yourself, which leads to impressing others. So this, what you said with the music and like painting those colors, you're seeing it in your head and you're impressing yourself like, wow, I put this into creation. Like people will feel it. And
yeah,
then the second thing I was thinking was like the same exact thing. I'm only listening to like one or two individuals during this time, like as on social media. But I kind of like I'm not really listening to anyone right now. It's not that I'm not
yeah,
listening to anyone, but I'm just not. I'm taking my own advice because I'm learning for myself, and I think that's something you've been doing well as well.
yeah. That's been. I mean, it's been key to just kind of like look inward at this time.
Mm,
And like I was saying earlier, God has been a huge thing inside of this. And I feel like some of the solutions I just wouldn't have come to if I wasn't so open to hearing from Him in this time. Which is just it's a personal thing that I've been going through, and that's just it's just a path that like I don't know. It keeps you. It makes you look inward and makes you look at yourself and go, what am I doing? What do I need to be fixing? What am I neglecting? And yeah, and then you start, and there's a difference, like if with him and then myself too. When I look at myself too, I look at me and I'm like, all right, so what do you want now, Dan? Like, what do you want to see for yourself? And now I'm listening to myself, like, okay, I want this to happen for me, and then I
mm,
feel like being guided and moving and how I can make that happen for me, and different things like that, man. So it has been more of the people around me, the people who I've trusted for a while. When I say a while, I guess like 2 years at this point. My close friends who've been built around me for 2 years, and then very few people who I've chosen to pick outside of here. Bob Proctor, he's another guy. I was trying to think of his name. Bob
mm.
Proctor, another
Yeah, yeah, he's great.
great. Yeah, yeah,
That's good. Yeah, and I think I just wanted to open the floor one more time. If you guys want to ask any questions, I'm thinking like in a couple minutes, I would love to play one of the songs. We can go based on your choice, whatever one's your favorite, and just listen to it, um, and then start to tune down the IG Live. But I was gonna ask one more question. If any others come in, you can field those. But what is one thing you are looking forward to when things I don't know if go back to normal or not, or just like in 2 months? Like, what is something you're looking forward to? Projects you're looking forward to? Because this is, as much as we're discussing it, it's like an update on goals as well. You know, update on how you are.
Yeah. So, oh man, what am I not looking forward to? Like, whatever are we not looking forward to? Oh, I'm looking forward to fresh air. No, I'm looking forward.
Going out,
No,
walking outside.
for real though, I'm looking forward to not
Yeah.
looking at games all day. No, I'm looking forward mostly to getting the projects that I wanted to get. So the TV show that you're talking about, 420 Live, man, I'm looking forward to get that off the air. I can't like that is going to be so much fun to first of all create, and second of all put the health message bits inside of it. I mean, the show is about marijuana and it's about smoking it. It's about the real. It's called 420 Live because it's about the realness of marijuana, like the good and the bad, and hopefully it destroys stereotypes. Hopefully it proves some stereotypes so that I mean, I feel like this society was kind of just thrown into the marijuana culture without anybody really like giving us a guideline. While alcohol kind of has like these rules and guidelines to it, there's no real guidelines to marijuana. It's still like heavily looked down on by a lot of people. They think it's like it'll kill you. Some people think it'll like that you can die from it. I'm like, no one's ever died from it. But yeah, I can't wait to like start that project. It's gonna be a lot of fun being shot too. The shoot is going to be obviously it's going to be a funny show, so it's going to be great.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
cannot wait. The album is going to be in September, so I cannot wait to start collaborating with all these different creatives throughout these next couple of months when I can actually go out city to city and just get into these different studios. Cannot wait to perform live again. I'm just never going to take advantage of that ever again. Just like get on stage. I think the biggest thing though, which is probably going to come sooner than any of that, is I cannot wait to like look into the community and see where I can help in real time. I think that is about to be huge. Like I know that these other projects are going to be cool in a way, like, but they're in a way, you know, the 420 Live, it'll help people, but that's more so again like a personal thing that I wanted. And the album, it'll help people, but it's more so for my own platform. But to do something truly selfless, once this, I mean, the situation is escalating out there. People are more and more confused about what to believe. There are homeless people who are just being forgotten, like straight up forgotten in this time. And I think to do something about that first is one of the most exciting things. That's the thing that I'm excited about the most, because to get it done and to get out there and do that will feel like, personally, it'll feel like I'm actually doing something in real time, and helping people in real time, and just for them to know that like they haven't been forgotten. I really hope someone's out there helping right now. Like I don't know who's out there helping. I've seen a lot of bad news, but I've also seen like good news here and there. But just to be in real time with some of them, and with people who need help, and be like, yo, just to see them smile and let them know like, yo, you are not forgotten. You have not been forgotten this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Yeah, I know one guy I think of, it's more so related to food, but you know, Evan Ellers of Sharing Excess, like he's in the Drexel and Philly community. Basically, they take leftover food and give it out to people who need it most, and it's really cool to see them on the ground. Yeah. So maybe a collab there. But
dude, that boots to the ground thing is the most, like, that's gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be a really good way to, I mean, we're all sitting here with energy and like, what do I do with this energy? That's gonna be a really good way to exert this energy and just like get it out there and get creative with how I can help people. And I think it's gonna be a time where everyone's actually happy to see each other. Hopefully, that we're gonna move into this, yo, it's been so long kind of thing, and people are gonna be more open, more loving. I'm gonna give a stranger a hug.
Yeah, and actually meaning it. I know people used to say like, I miss you, it's been so long, but it'd be like, you know, I actually miss you.
For real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's the quote of like, you don't really appreciate something till it's gone. So I think that exact thing will happen through what you said. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think to cap it off, we can get some opinions from the people now watching, but what is a song in the EP that you want to play? And we can end it with one of the songs. But guys, let us know what song in the EP do you want us to play? If you want to give your input, if not, we got the man himself here to pick one. We can
Yeah, like
listen to it.
whoever wants to pick, if y'all want to pick, whoever one y'all want to pick. But yeah, I got one in my head. But yeah, let me know first if y'all want to hear one.
Okay, yeah, I got one in my head. We'll give you a couple
Which one you got in
seconds.
your head?
Guess.
Which one you got in your head? Is
You
it
gotta guess.
Learn from the Skies?
We
Is it
got one
Learn from
there.
the
There we go.
Skies?
Yeah.
Got some people saying, dang, mirror intro, bad times, or outro. First of all, it's bad signs. So I'm about to get you. I'm playing with you now. But, yeah, Learn from the Skies. That's Sam. Hold up. It's a homie. Yeah. Yeah, Learn from the Skies. That's
Wait.
the one.
You know Sam?
Yeah.
You know Sam Stokes? No
I
way.
think so. I think so.
That's
I
so
maybe
real.
not.
Oh. All right. Well, that'd be crazy. Okay. All right. Well, I'll connect you guys if not. But all right. Learn from the skies, or what do you want to choose? Up to you.
I Learn from the Skies. That's a good
Learn
one.
from the sky. Learn from the skies. There we go. All right, guys. Just so you know, this is the layout. We got them here, and we're gonna crank it up, and we'll listen to it. I might keep it off myself, but nah, we'll vibe. You guys going here? Lost with no regrets, I got no regrets. I've been working on myself. I've been holding light to the sky, cause I've been high.
Dude, you should know what killed it.
My favorite diamonds where we living. All the dreams and visions that same ain't got me giving. I feel grace inside my bones. All the things I know, but now stop. Bring the hearts, bring the love. Welcome to the world, welcome to where we live in. I can really see us just right there. I can really see us burn. I can really see us learning. So much easier said than done. I know I'm not the only one. Struggling under the sun, all trying to hide synthesize the truth. I think about it when the blind is. I'm praying on it when the sun sets. Please don't ask me for advice. I'm still working through my nights. I'm still learning through my vices. Love that part. Yeah. Notice I'm changing. The gossip will blame me. It's the gossip that changed me. The thought of me, I'm talking to that's why I said welcome to the world, welcome to where we live in. I can really see it's just
I think that's the most streamed project on the EP right now too.
I can really see us.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
the most
pause there.
streamed track right now. I know, right?
What were you gonna say?
I think that's the most streamed track right now on the EP.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome. All right, cool. That was great. Yo,
Yeah.
like I said, that'll age like fine wine, but for now, appreciate it by streaming it and supporting Daniel. Also, give him a follow because I think we're gonna cap it off here. But was there anything else you wanted to say before we go,
I just
brother?
hope everybody's safe, man. I hope for this it's about to get crazy out there, and hopefully it's about to get better. But
Yeah.
either way, if you guys haven't been taking this time seriously to just look inward and really do the things you love and talk to the people you love and pray for the people you love, utilize this time, man. I mean, I can already see the look back. Take me back to quarantine memes when the earth was bright and everything was fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Take me back to quarantine when I had time to just relax. This is the only time that we're being told to relax. So really utilize this time for what you can and not just to like pressure yourself to work or prepare for your next big project. I mean, do those things too, but utilize this time to really look inward and love yourself and love the people around you if you can. I'm trying to, so
Mm.
yeah, man.
Amen, bro. That's great note to leave it off. Thank you for coming on the live, man. I'll talk to you probably
Thanks for
tomorrow.
having me.
But yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. See ya. Bye.
Peace.
Strong like a tree, there's roots right.